Coors?
You got a yellow belly, you knew exactly what
I know, you were looking me up and down. I knew what you wanted. You want a banquet?
Yes.
Crack him if you got him!
Jerry! Pick us up, Jerry! Jerry! We're not worthy! Oh, Cowboys can fan.
Cowboys can fan.
Like Canadian fan, can fan.
Oh.
Cowboys can fan.
Love Canada.
Yeah.
I'll look you up.
Awesome, thanks brother. Take care, man. And look, that's how you get subscribers. And nowadays, it's a dog eat dog world. It's a dog eat dog world. We got to go on the street to get subscribers now.
I'll be like, there'll be a guy at the grocery store and I'll hear him say something about Facebook. I'm like, oh, you do Facebook? You ever heard of CanFan? At Cowboys CanFan. Have you ever checked us out at Cowboys CanFan on any major platform? Because we're on all of them.
Dude, go to tiktok.com/@CowboysCanFan.
We have a channel, yeah.
What's your channel?
Cowboys can fan.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm
Cowboys
from Puerto Rico.
can fan. We're from Canada, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's can fan on his shirt there.
I'm gonna watch that when I go on.
Yeah, do it. You guys will be on our YouTube.
Can I come all the way from Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico? Hell yeah.
See, that's
Son of a bitch.
Let's go. We're gonna be cracking them if we got them, baby. Let's go. Not often are you gonna have the Vegas Strip shut down like this, so we're gonna take advantage of it. And we're gonna shotgun one for you, son. Crack them if you got them, son. Woo! Crack them if you got them, son.
You got Rolling? Come on.
I've never.
Yeah, we back, baby. 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 Out of studio, but we back, baby. And we back with that Dolly Parton shirt. And you know it. And you know it. Fade out song. Fade out song. Fade out song. We back. Let's get one of these in the system, right? Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Get it.
For the only mofo who's in the studio.
Get it in you, son. Get it in you.
kid.
I've poured myself from my $15 bottle of look, it's disappearing from my that's
You're
right,
drinking
so
Dak.
I got a $15 of a 2.6 of vodka down here in the great country of Mexico.
Woo. Yeah, so AJ just spoiler alerted. He is in Mexico right now. So he went straight from the great Canadian American Thanksgiving trip all the way out to Mexico to sip on some mojitos and drink his $15 drinks. Aneth is still in Dallas. He's in the studio at Super Cowboys location.
And it's still sunny here, which is weird.
And it's still sunny here.
Guys, how you feeling? I got back from on Friday. I might sound still a little bit sick. Friday on the plane home, my throat felt a little bit fucked up. And I thought it was just from screaming at the game. I was like, okay, my throat's probably just banged up from screaming. And since we got home, I've been pretty sick. Today's finally the first day I've started to feel a little bit better. And just in time for tomorrow night's Cowboys versus Seahawks, which we'll jump into later on. But besides that, how are you guys feeling since our Thanksgiving, our third Thanksgiving Day game?
Well, I traveled home with you, so it was a long-ish travel day for us. And then
Was it better than the trip down?
Oh yeah, hands down, way better. Minus the fact that we got kind of bitch slapped by traffic coming out of Seattle proper.
Really?
There was for whatever reason, there was it was on Black Friday, so I don't know if it was a bit of that kind of traffic, but we had about a 40-minute delay. Other than that, we were right through the border. But the weekend was busy. You get home and by Monday morning when I was at work, I was like, I don't feel like I stopped. and ultimately because on the weekend I was trying to crush out some of those edits. We did the Creed edit, and then I was working on our upcoming video, which we'll release later this week. So, but I feel good now.
Yeah, well, I wonder what were the Americans trying to get over the border to get those sweet Canadian Black Friday deals?
You think
It was
so?
actually between Bellevue and I would say
It was-
Bellevue and Bellingham
Be-
was
Bel-
like it was
Bel-
gridlock,
Bellevue-
and it said accidents, but it was just gridlock.
Well, the reason
Yeah.
it was Bellevue to the Tulalip outlets, which is like a clearance outlet area or a clearance outlet. It's just like an outlet center and a casino. And then you drive for like another 20 minutes. And then there's the Burlington outlets, which was this. So it was like right by those outlets. So it felt like it was Black Friday. We attested it to that. But I mean, yeah, you'd think that the Americans would come up here.
And also, just you did crack the egg about the video coming out. We went to a Walmart, picked up a trash can of football, brought down some jerseys, gave them away at the event. It's a really fun video. But and in that video, when we're I don't want to, but this is a little behind baseball.
Hey,
So,
we behind baseball all the time, baby.
But in the video where we're throwing in the backyard, you can kind of hear your voice is just starting to.
Starting to go. Yeah. So I've been sick for a week, I think. So I don't know how I was patient zero down there, just giving it to everybody at the game probably. And then on the airplane, but I was sitting beside Adam on the plane and he's fine. So
I also have like father fucking, a father genes in terms of like fighting off snot.
dad jeans.
Dad jeans. I do have dad jeans. I was going to say, you shouldn't have been making out with the UK Cowboys dudes.
Hey, I couldn't help it. Very good looking dudes. What you will notice if you're not watching us right now, you should be watching us on YouTube, Cowboys Can Fan. We all have matching shirts. Dolly Parton, we all got the last 3 in the pro shop.
Yeah.
Last 3 Dolly Parton shirts, all XLs. Ads is probably the only one that actually fits different. I feel like my boobs are going to pop out. AJ, how's yours fit?
Well, I'm glad we got them because mine fits good. I mean, it's a large, it's an XL, but like, I don't mind it being a little bit baggy. But the day before, was it that we were there? We did the actual, yeah, there it is. There's the full glory. But the day before we did it, or we went there, sorry. There was like, I don't know, 5 of each size.
Yeah. There's like 5 racks of everything.
When we went to do the tour, and so I was like, oh, okay, we'll just wait. But then I can't remember. And then it was closed after because we were going to go pick it up then. So we came back, and there was like literally one of us. It might have been me. I can't remember who, but one of us got the very last one. So.
Anthony, I grabbed one for you, and then I was like, dude, there's one left. And he's like, okay, I gotta get it.
$50 fucking shirt though.
Yeah.
Guys, I got to talk to you though about some stuff here.
$50 USD. And then
$50 USD. That's 100 smackers almost Canadian.
Well, and
But
I was just gonna say, because we're on the Dolly Parton thing, Gus says, I thought Dolly gave AJ a shirt personally, and he's upset that didn't happen.
That would have been cool. We were way too high up for her to give us anything.
Yeah, there's no way Dolly.
and
if she
from that high up.
I was gonna say, if Dolly Parton at 77 years old with a shirt cannon, it would totally break her back.
Knocks her off the stage.
Knocks her right off the stage.
I thought she looked good. I thought she.
I
Looked
didn't say she didn't look. I did.
Every look, fucking DeMarcus Lawrence looks hot from the 4th stanza. You get high enough, everyone looks good.
You're not wrong.
And that's a purposeful double entendre.
Yeah, I like that. If you're high enough, not only in the skies but in the mind.
Okay, Anthony, you wanted to boost.
Okay, we got to talk about the game a little bit though, guys. We actually, the coolest part about the full game, and something that still gives me goosebumps every time I watch the clip, and it was the most talked about thing of the game. The game was already gone. It was a blowout, but somewhere in the 4th quarter, Sam Howell dropped back. And you know what? I've watched the replay quite a bit. He looks to his left. He has a wide receiver open. He guns it out to his left, and Deron Not So Bland just jumps out and snipes it. And Jim Nance's call on it gives you goosebumps. We went through all the emotions of seeing him running down, and you think he has a touchdown, and you're like, oh my God, he still has 30 or 40 yards to go and 3 guys to beats those dudes, gets in the end zone, sets the record. We were all there to witness it. I just want to ask you guys, how fucking cool did that feel to be there to witness not only Cowboys history, but NFL history? Like, that's not a common thing to happen.
Yeah. For me, like, it was just fucking amazing, electric. What I loved actually was Ants reacts to the interception, and there's still like 45 yards to go or something like that. And then Deron Bland starts running, and he still has to beat like 2 or 3 people. Sure, they're offensive players, but still, it's not a walk in the park. And as soon as he makes that move to kind of juke Howell and the 2 defenders hit into each other, then it was just clear into the end zone. But it was not just a walk in the park, but just Ant's reaction in game when he gets the interception was like you almost already knew he was going to run this one back.
It was
That's our guy.
It was absolutely surreal. And like when obviously our energy and Alex is gone. But
there he is, Deron Bland.
You can see Deron Bland and Dak having some Thanksgiving celebratory legs. But it was a surreal moment. You think he's going to get stopped. We're not going to be able to witness it in IRL. But to be there and to see it happen, every time you watch the replay. Since I probably watched it 50 times, I'm like, there's no way he's going to make it in this time. Like, this is the time that he's just not going to make it in. But from Jim Nance's call to us being there and our reactions to being there in person, like it was top up there as one of the best football live experience moments that I'll ever have, I think.
Oh yeah. The only thing that's going to top that is winning, like watching a postseason game, a win in a postseason game, like a really important postseason game. Granted, they all are important, but not very many. Like you'll get people that have watched the Cowboys live that lived in Dallas for years and years and years and have never had the chance to see a history breaking moment. Right. So we're pretty lucky about that because there's no guaranteed. He had 4, but that record stood for a long time. Like for it to happen there. And now he has 6 more games. To even just build on that record, which is insane.
You're stupid. If you're going to throw to his side, like, just don't even do it. Like, don't even do it. Just forget about it.
Well, the thing is with Bland, he's getting so good at, he's getting so good at like baiting them, mastered debating them. He just baits the quarterback. He baits them right off.
Actually, I believe it was you, Anth, who did the video. I can't remember in my drunken state. I've been down here, south of the USA, but I believe it was you. Did you do a little recap on the Bland picks?
No, that was yes, that was me. No, that was some rando. That definitely wasn't me. Rando.
Anyways, I wish I could remember who, but I'm not going to. But it really helped me to like see why I used to think, if you remember back to Deron Bland's first interception, it was the pop by Trevon Diggs. Sent the ball up in the air. He caught it, got a pretty much easy walk-in touchdown. It was like, okay, that was extremely lucky. But now fast forwarding after seeing all of these and then seeing this analysis on the way that Bland is playing, it's his positioning that's putting him in those areas. And he's so smart at I couldn't say what he needs to look at, but in this specific example, he was looking at the foot anchoring down as the guy twists, which is a for sure sign that he's committing to cutting back.
He's transferring all his weight. He's transferring all his weight. So you can't fake that, really.
You can't fake that. If you did that and then we're trying to come out, you just wouldn't get the pop that you need. If you're trying to basically bait the CB, you'd have to go lighter. But he's so good, so smart, so intelligent at seeing that, being in the position. As soon as he sees the plant, he's like, that ball's coming his way. He's also watching Howell throw the ball, and he just moves. And there was a good, I would say, 3 yards, maybe more, between him and the defender when the offensive player there, when he starts to make that cut.
The guy's open. He's open. When Howell lets go of the ball, he's open.
Yeah, and then he just makes the move at the right time, beelines it in there. Snakes the ball, and the rest is, as they say, history.
I mean,
history.
Someone shared his recap of how he got to the NFL, and that just puts even more greatness onto that record set break. But
he wasn't even invited. He wasn't even invited to the NFL Combine.
Wasn't even invited to the Combine. No. So, like, it's a combination of spotting something with talent and filling pieces in at like a good at a good round. He was 5th round pick, and then attests to the Cowboys coaches developing him, and then the next man up. I mean, you can teach skill to a certain degree, but that kind of and I want to say anticipation instinct that he has, playing a receiver and then turning into a DB, like you add all these elements in, and then being behind Diggs and having Harris as your coach, like everything was a perfect storm for him to have a phenomenal season so far with so many games left. I get chills even thinking about his story, and
I get a boner.
And it's not even
boner.
And it's rock hard.
I got something for you guys.
Oh, boner.
Over under 8.5 pick sixes this year for Deron Bland.
How could he have 0.5 though? How could he have 0.5? Where would the 0.5 come from?
You can have 0.5 because then he needs 9. He either needs 9 or 8.
I'm saying if I said 8, then
he would only if Alex said 8, he would only need 8. But if Alex goes, they always do that. They do the 0.5s so that you have to pick one. You have to either think he's going to get 8 or you think he's going to get 9.
I think
he is 5 or 6 right now. 5.
He's at 5. Yeah, 8.5.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going under
7.5.
Ooh, I think I'm in my mind. I can feel him getting 7 pick sixes this year. That's where I was thinking. So I'd have to stay under.
Okay. I'd be surprised if he gets 6. I'll be like, it's just such a fucking wild thing that's happening, and I don't know if postseason stats accumulate to the regular season, which I don't think they do, because that'd be unfair for teams that make it into the postseason, because then they get an extra slot of games to stack on records. I think maybe it goes the rest of the season without any, but then has one at a very important part of a game in the playoffs. But who knows? I didn't think he was going to break the record, and he did it. He had 2 pick sixes in back-to-back games. Yeah, Geno Smith is known to give the ball up. He's playing. I mean, we're playing against some good quarterbacks coming up that are going to protect the ball a little bit better. But this guy just shows that he's a ball hawk. I would say if you're going to say interceptions, because he has 7 interceptions right now. I think a good one would be 10.5 over under for interceptions, because I think he's still going to pick the ball. I just don't know if he's going to get to the end zone. I hope he does. I hope he does it tomorrow.
What do you say, Alex? And then I want to say something after you.
No, I just think, like, if the Cowboys keep putting points up on the board, quarterbacks are going to try to go for a little bit more risky throws later on in the game. And, God willing, they don't pull the boys in the fourth quarter like they've been doing.
7 times, man. That was 7 times they've been pulled.
That was the best from the sounds of the sideline this past week. Zach Martin's like to Dak, he's like, "Can you pull us already?" Like, he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna get us out of this game. I'm gonna get us out of this game." I just want to go to chat for a second, because as I was thinking about who would he be getting his pick sixes on, Denny Watson in the chat says it before I can. He goes, over. Hurts, Allen, and Howell love throwing picks. True. So I do feel very, very, those are the 3. I might say Howell no, but Geno Smith yes. So I think we're going to get a pick 6 in Seattle tomorrow night, and then I think we're going to get one on Hurts, and then we'll get one on Allen. So I have to.
Is Denny Watson saying 3 pick sixes from those teams, or just 3 interceptions?
He's just saying over your 7.5. So he has that's his justification.
It'd be 3 more pick sixes then. Yeah. For over your 8.5. Or sorry, 8.5, he needs 4 more.
So 7.5.
No, I said 7.5, but you said 10.5 interceptions. So I was just, because I agree. I think, like, there's a very good chance he could get interceptions. I would say over 10.5. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, he needs 4 more in 6 games. Very doable.
Yep. And then Gus says
very doable.
And then Gus says, then we got.
I'm just gonna fill my drink while you read these comments.
And then Gus says,
gulp.
Then we got Gilly pass breakup as well. Opposing teams just need to run. # stop throwing. Denny Watson claps back and says, # keep throwing. I don't trust our run game.
Well, the crazy part is, but I'll wait because we'll stay on this till AJ gets back. But the crazy part is teams keep throwing to him. It's one of PFF's top rated shutdown corners. His QBR against quarterbacks is insane. And then to stack it with the interceptions and then to stack it with the touchdowns off of interceptions, it's like, just if I was a team coming in to play against the Dallas Cowboys, I'm only throwing at one player, and that's Jordan Lewis. That's the only guy I'm throwing at.
Well,
I'm not even fucking looking over at Bland.
Okay, so look at what happened in the Philly game. Like we exposed Lewis, and Lewis is the only one that was having those major issues.
They did have a nice Devontae Smith did have a nice touchdown over Bland in the Philly game, but I know what you mean. Jordan Lewis has been a huge Achilles heel for this defense.
He's Ryan Gosling in Remember the Titans. He's a liability.
Oh, totally.
He's a liability for the team. Bench him, Yost. Sunshine. There you are.
Trevor Lawrence, sunshine.
There we go.
Hey, what's up, Greg?
He can't hear you.
Sorry if I'm just butting in, but I was
go
going
ahead
to
and
say
butt
there
in.
was another record that's continuing.
Yes, sir. It is. Automatic Aubrey's keeps doing his thing. What's he at now? 22 of 22 field goals to start a career. Has had some issues as of late with extra points, but he still has not missed a field goal.
Yeah. And the extra points, I mean, look, at the end of the year, if he's like 95%, which I think is what he's trending to, he's missed two. The first one we gave to him. We said, hey, it's only up from here, young buck. And it was definitely flashes of historic misses that the Cowboys kickers have had over the last two seasons, not including this one. So I'll take it, man. And I'll take his consistent field goals and miss a couple extra points, just not 4 in a row or 5 in a row, whatever it was.
Yeah, definitely don't want that. Another thing we got to talk about before we get off of this Thanksgiving Day game against the Commanders, Dak Prescott, man. Dak Prescott is, I don't care who he's playing against. Everyone keeps saying who they're playing, these teams, and it doesn't really matter what happens because tomorrow, if we beat the Seahawks, they're going to just say, well, the Seahawks suck anyways. Dak Prescott can't do it in the postseason. It doesn't matter if we beat the Eagles. It's just going to keep getting pushed and pushed and pushed until he does it in the postseason. So, but I'm stoked on it. I'll take this Dak over last year's Dak any day of the week. He has 23 interceptions. 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. QBR is unreal. His last 5-game stretch has been insane. I think he threw 4 touchdowns last Thursday, and I fully expect him to keep doing that this whole year. He looks comfortable in this offense. He's trusting his tight end. He's trusting his wide receivers. You're starting to see Cooks come alive. You're seeing Turpin actually spread the field. I'm just super excited about Dak Prescott and how he's playing football right now.
Kilo C goes, here we go. He knows that Ant's getting serious. Ant's going on that. Ant's going on that tear. Get it. Gus says, with Aubrey and Turpin, we need to keep picking out of the USFL. Right. And then our boy Boots on the Ground, who's live on location at the Posty event, is in the chat representing Can Fan Nation out there with One Star Family and SC DCFC. And then Ben Pia says, shout out to Jerry Jones.
Shout out to Jerry Jones because he be the owner.
I actually, funny enough, last night I was on the 8 o'clock spot, the Grid's 8 o'clock spot.
Yeah, you did well, by the way.
Shout out.
If you can guess, it's on at 8 o'clock EST, which is weird because it's 5 p.m. where we live, so I don't know what's called the 8 o'clock spot, but whatever. But no. Here's the thing. First of all, I just want to say I'm figuring out how to deliver my points. I crunch a bunch of stats and then I try to rattle them all off. Now what I'm going to do is pick one.
Yeah.
And I did, and then just fucking rail that home.
Yeah.
But I did crunch numbers. And I'm going to try it here if I can with you.
Yeah, do it. Go
right
for
now.
it. Go for it. Hey, go for it. You.
And then I'll share the other stats because they're kind of interesting too. But the number one stat, if we continue the trend of Dak Prescott's last 6 games, and then I just did the trends for both Hurts and Mahomes for what they've done over the rest of the season. Basically, took the averages, but a little more generous to our boy Dak because I believe they hit another gear over the last 6 games, I believe. Since the loss to the 49ers, they've really turned it on. They look like
since the bye week,
they look like a well-oiled machine. Here is the touchdown to interception ratio or whatever you want to call Dak Prescott, 5.2. Patty Mahomes, 2.3. And Jalen Hurts, 1.8.
So that means
what that
yeah, okay. Sorry, I hear what you're gonna let us know.
yeah.
Talk
Yep,
through
for
it. both.
every 5.2 touchdowns Dak throws, he throws one interception, or reverse it. For every interception he throws, he's going to throw over 5 touchdowns. For every interception Mahomes throws, he's on pace to throw just over 2 touchdowns. And for every interception Hurts throws, he's on pace to throw under 2 touchdowns, just under. He also, in fairness, is getting a rushing touchdown a game as well. So, keep that in mind. But
And every fucking call in the book. God damn those Eagles. Why'd you have to bring those goddamn Eagles into this, AJ?
Hey, man, I'm sorry. But the point being here, though, is just like, I think for me, that's the most important metric. And that's not even including that Dak Prescott, if we look at their pace for the rest of the season, is outpacing both Mahomes and Hurts in total yards. That includes their rushing, as well as total touchdowns for both passing and rushing. So Dak's pace right now, do you guys want to guess? Over under 5,000
Over.
yards. Over under 45 touchdowns total.
Over.
You're both right. 5,087 yards is what he's on pace for passing and rushing, and 46.6 total touchdowns passing and rushing. So the man is on a mission.
Yeah.
MVP like numbers, man. And we fucked up because we were talking about betting $100 when the odds for him being MVP were plus 300. So $100 bet would have won us $2,900. Now he's down to like plus 450. So if you bet 100, you win like 350. So
yeah, fuck.
We tried. I just couldn't get that goddamn DraftKings. No shout out DraftKings. I couldn't figure you out.
Yeah, former sponsor DraftKings. Okay, so boys, shall we go into some power rankings? Shall we see if we're moving on up?
Oh,
I don't even remember where the hell we were.
Well, here, let's hit some power rankings. Go ahead.
Adam, before you go to this week, they'll have the weeks below. Let's look at last week to see where we were ranked.
You're throwing an audible.
No. It's on the same. If you're in the NFL, here's the thing: is just a little behind baseball. I'm usually the guy who's kind of working the ship, but Adam is got no co-pilot today, so
I'm right. Hey, the Millennium. We all know the Millennium Falcon takes 2 pilots, so I'm flying. We're flying like this right now.
I don't know. My experience feels the same as usual.
Yeah. So last week we were. Well, it'll tell us once we get down there what we were last week.
Yeah, but that doesn't help us guessing right now, though.
Okay.
Just scroll down a tiny bit. You were just in it. Just scroll down a tiny. Right there.
Okay, there
and then pick the prior week.
Okay, so last week we were.
You did it. We did it together.
Okay, see, that's teamwork and helpful teamwork here. Okay, so last week we got Eagles at 1, Baltimore number 2, Lions 3, San Fran 4, KC 5. Fuck you. Dolphins 6, and then the Cowboys were number 7.
So we've been 7 the last 2 weeks prior to this week. Okay.
So week 13.
Remember, we were mad because we weren't shaking and moving at all. We weren't shaking and moving at all. I'm gonna lead out. They're gonna give us at least a little bit. They're gonna give us a tiny little nudge. I wish I would have looked at those teams that were there to see if any would have dropped out. But I'm going 6. We're going 6 on the power rankings this week because Dak Prescott and the Cowboys have just been too good. Their offense is humming. Their defense was slanging and banging. Special teams is doing their thing. They got to be 6.
I'm gonna say 5. I think we're gonna go up 2 spots. Bland setting that record and the domination. I think we're at 5.
Wait,
Jay, what do you think?
What'd you say, Ann? 6?
I said 6.
Well, now the question is, do I go to 7 or 4? I don't think 4 is right, so I think one of you guys got it.
You're allowed to be the same as your bandwagon brethren. So I'm just, if you want to hit 5 with me, go for it.
I'll hold hands with you.
Okay, we're holding hands.
Going 5?
Yeah.
Okay. I think 7's a bigger possibility than 5.
No, they're not.
They're not giving enough. If we beat the Seahawks or when we beat the Seahawks tomorrow, then we're top 5 category. But
it
there's
was
still the
it was a
narrative is the
shellacking.
Cowboys can't beat anyone that
I
has a
know.
winning record,
Which is the
that'll give us maybe a little bit of a nudge, but it might not even happen.
Okay,
Let's check it out.
before I scroll down, EJ Savage says I like the cut, AJ. He likes your
Hey,
haircut.
thank you.
Which
I did
AJ
it myself.
did you? Oh, because we didn't find a barber in it. So NFL Power Rankings Week 13 Steelers crack top 10 while Lions tumble out of top 5.
Oh,
Okay.
so maybe we took the Lion. Oh, you sons of bitches.
Oh, so that
Hang on.
You know I don't read.
First of
You know
all-
I don't read the top. You know I don't read the headline. So that was definitely not how I weighed it in. But I feel more secure about my number 5 spot right now. What were you gonna say, AJ?
I just like make it. Can I get Barry Grant Jr. in here just to say make it make sense? Like, how do the Steelers, mind you, they weren't dog shit, but they certainly, I don't know if they're a top 10 team after just last week. And then the Lions tumble
Out of the top 5.
I mean, it was a shit game, for sure. But like, how do they tumble out of top 10? What did they say out of top 10?
No,
or
top 5. Top
Oh,
5.
top
They're
five, top five.
probably
Sorry,
like
sorry.
6th. They're probably like 6th.
Okay.
Okay,
The
that's
Cowboys
it.
probably went up to 5, and okay. Anyways, Eagles at 1.
We knew
get
that.
the fuck out of
Get-
here, you
get-
lucky bastards.
And Ikrin Flowers is in the chat. Fuck you, Ikrin.
Do they have anything about the refs helping them gain that spot in
No.
this write-up?
They should. They should. I mean,
should.
and honestly, if I was expecting to see Kansas City up there for some reason, because it seems like Kansas City, no matter what their record is, they're always going to be in the top 3.
They'll be 3.
Yeah. So we got Philly Eagles at 10 at number 1, and then Baltimore's number 2, which can't argue with that 9-3 record. 49ers.
Makes
this-
sense.
this
It
guy-
does. They took they whooped on the Seahawks pretty bad on
So
Thanksgiving.
okay, so
it makes sense.
okay, so they whip on the Seahawks, they go up a spot. Let's just remember that. They whip on the Seahawks,
Okay, good call.
and they
Yeah,
go
that's
up
a good call.
spot, right? Okay. Kansas City's number 4. Okay. So they went
Okay,
up a spot from number 5.
Hold your titties. Hold your titties.
Okay.
Hold your titties. This is your guys' bandwagon
Oh!
boys.
Oh!
Holding hands.
Holding hands. AJ, put your hand to your put your right hand out. We're holding hands behind it. We're
He
holding
doesn't know what you're saying.
He doesn't know what we're saying.
I can't hear you. What are you saying?
I'm saying hold your right hand past there. We're holding hands right now.
Oh,
There you go. Okay, we're holding hands. Fuck me. Okay, so Dak Prescott is on a 6-game heater, averaging 312 passing yards per game with an average of 18 to 2 touchdowns to interception ratio. I am not sure he's ever had a better 6-pack of games at a more critical juncture for the team. A year ago at this time, Prescott was starting off an ignominious
The trick is you just do your best try and then move on. Give it the
ignominious
best
streak
shot
that
and
would
move on it.
ignominious streak that would ultimately reach 7 games with at least 1 pick. But ever since the humiliating loss at San Francisco back in week 5, fuck you, Dak's dialed in this season. He's at least an MVP dark horse at this point and could end up taking home the hardware if the Cowboys go nuclear down the stretch. Now is the time for folks who decried Mike McCarthy taking over play calling duties to start the season to offer up their mea culpa, as you couldn't hope for much better results lately. Dallas hasn't been in a conference championship game in almost 30 years. Could this be the season? Question mark.
Well, I got to lead out with why is he a dark horse? You put his stats up against any other quarterback in the NFL right now, and he's just as good, if not better, than most of them. So why is he an MVP dark horse? I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. Is he not one of the top 3 to top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL? Are his numbers not top 3 to 5? Is his team not in a very good chance to make a postseason run? I just don't understand the MVP dark horse.
Yeah. It's almost like your comment about someone messaging you today saying, well, hey, Aaron Rodgers is saying Dak's playing pretty good and he's a good quarterback. I think he could be MVP. And you're like, yeah, but other people on the internet are saying otherwise. So
Yeah, I just don't understand it. He should be in clear-cut contention for the MVP. It shouldn't be a dark horse. It should be he's right up there, shoulder to shoulder, nose to nose, down the stretch. There's 6 games left. If he plays like he's played in his last 5 games in these next 6, he should be the MVP of the NFL.
Yep.
That's it. That's his numbers will be astronomical. They'll break every Cowboys quarterback record. He'll put his team in a very good position to be a first seed. They're just waiting to see what he does against Seattle, what he does against Philadelphia, what he does against Buffalo, what he does against Miami.
And
I'm telling you right now, if he beats those three teams, fucking MVP talk is going to shoot through the roof. That's what it's all about. It's not about his stats. It's if he can beat those teams. That's it.
Yep. AJ,
You're firing me up over here.
Yeah, look
I thought my fever was leaving, but I can feel my heat juicing back up, baby.
Juice it, baby. Joey Juiceack. Okay, well, let's just see what's on the rest of this list. We got Dolphins at 6. They stayed strong. Okay, Jacksonville Jaguars have moved up. So we got 8-3. So right here you can see 5, 8-3, 8-3 for the Dolphins, 8-3 for the Jaguars. And then obviously it's going to be the Lions at 8-3, but they went down 5 spots.
Wow.
And again,
that's unfair. That's unfair for a divisional matchup. They played the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
It's a divisional team. They stunk it up a little bit, but I think dropping that much is a little unfair.
Okay, and then look right here. This is what AJ was scorning about here. Pittsburgh Steelers went up 4 spots.
Wow.
4 spots they went up, and they I'm not saying that they shouldn't have moved up, but like 4 spots to crack the top 10 and to be number 9. I mean, that might be a little bit. And it wasn't even a big win. It was like 16-13 or something like that. It was
a close one.
And then a close one. Then we end up with the Cleveland Browns. DTR and Deshaun Watson down the drain, and Joe Flacco's coming in there. Is it Joe Flacco or is he on the Jets? I can't remember. Doesn't really matter.
It's not Joe Flacco.
And then Houston,
in the top 10 though, we're going to be playing against the Lions, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Eagles.
Okay, Bills aren't in the top 10 right now.
Oh, they're not? The Bills aren't in the top 10?
But you're right.
Oh, shit.
But we have Dolphins right here.
Okay, so 3. We're going to be playing 3 top 10 teams. I still think the Bills what did they drop them?
So they're number 12. So Texans came out of number 10, and then the Bills are 6-6. They shouldn't be in the top 10.
No, you're right. You're right, but still, they are a top 10 caliber team. Like they could still slang and bang. Believe you me.
Yep.
Believe you me.
AJ, how are you feeling about number 5 though? Do you think that's
fair? I think that's really fair. I think that's proper. Actually, this might be the first time that I feel like that he's gotten it right, or at least we weren't penalized for winning a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won. We're gonna keep them. We're gonna keep them right at this spot. Yeah. He must have got some flack for last week that we won and we smashed out a team and we just stayed stagnant.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing about the Eagles, and of course, I do believe they are the best team in the NFL. A lot of it comes down to their ability to just win a game when they need to win a game. Okay, look at these last 3 weeks. It was Bills and Cowboys, and there were who else did they play in between us?
They played I want to say the Dolphins.
No, Kansas City.
The Chiefs.
Kansas
Chiefs.
City.
We watched it.
Right. We watched it. We were watching it at Tacos Margarita.
Yeah, that's right. So there's 3 high-quality NFL teams, and the Eagles have beat them in order from Cowboys to KC to Bills by 5 points, by 4 points, and then by 3 points. So you could look at that 2 ways. You could be like, oh, they're just beating these teams. Well, a win's a win. The way that I look at it, and I hate to say it, is that makes a championship team is digging deep, coming back, and being able to hold on. Last week they were not gifted. I mean, that takes skill to kick. What was it, a 50-yarder?
59 yards in the fucking
59 in the rain. I mean, that was a nice kick. That was a nice kick.
Maybe the most insane kick of the season. I don't know. It's just due to the elements and the distance. Is just wild.
It's just
I let out a "you bastard."
I know. It's the fact that Josh Allen is 0-6 in overtime wins in his career. But Josh Allen's better than Dak Prescott. Let's just remember that, okay? Put some respect on Josh Allen's name.
Couldn't get it done.
Yeah, I think if you look at that, because Alex is a stat guy, we're also a little superstitious, but really delicious.
So it's super delicious and a little stitious.
Okay, so yeah, we're super delicious and a little stitious. if we follow that rhetoric, then they're going to beat the 49ers by 1 point, and then they're gonna lose to the Cowboys when we play them the week after. So I don't mind that, but we need them to lose to the 49ers, and then they're going to lose to the Cowboys.
But we were talking in group chat earlier today, and yeah, obviously we want them to lose to the Niners, and of course we want to beat them, but they'll still need another team to beat them again, because I think they have the tiebreaker in the conference, which sucks. That's where that Cardinals game creeps back in and sucks. We lost to a team in the NFC where they lost to the Jets in the AFC. So I think, and I'll have to go back and look at the rules, but I was looking at the tiebreakers, and I think that's where it is. I don't know if it goes points for or anything. I think it goes wins, and it goes heads up, wins in the division, and then wins in the conference. I think. We should look that up, but I was reading it. I think it goes to that before it goes to points for.
Yeah, because I'm manning the own ship, I totally missed throwing up our power rankings lower third, and I feel disgusted. So I think we're just going to end the podcast now.
Okay, well, we'll see you tomorrow. Go Cowboys.
So I'm happy with it. So I'm happy with where we're at. I think, like Anth was saying, there's a lot of ifs, what ifs. This needs to happen for this needs to happen. At the end of the day, I think our boys are locked right in. I mean, Dak Prescott, probably out of anybody, when you analyze his career and even this season, the mental fortitude that he has as our quarterback, for all the shit he gets, for all the noise, I just don't think it's hitting any of them right now. I think they're in that rhythm, and we're just going to start seeing them kind of continue to truck along. Mike McCarthy, Dak, they're connecting. Obviously, Dak and CeeDee Lamb's connecting. Dak and Brandon Cooks are connecting. We're starting to see a little bit more movement from some of the other receiving core, but as long as we have Cooks, Lamb, and Dak kind of meshing well together, get Pollard and Dowdle to kind of continue to run that clock for us, I think we're in very, very good position on the offense.
You got to add the O-line. You almost have the whole offense in there, and then you get the O-line.
And then you get the four T's and a Z's that they're cooking.
You get four T's and Z's blocking,
and then you get Deuce Vaughn just kind of giving support on the sidelines there. It's all good, baby.
Well, that's a good segue into this weekend's match, or this week's match. I keep saying weekend, but it's tomorrow. It's a Thursday matchup. Back-to-back Thursdays. I hate it. I honestly don't like it, guys. It's weird. It's great that we get an extra couple days to prepare for the Eagles matchup, but it just throws off my whole flow. And Thursday night games are usually so shitty. So I hope we can break out of that mold of Thursday night games.
Yeah, I mean,
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, AJ.
I was just going to say, I think the flow of games is really good because it's nice to get that extra time off after this upcoming Thursday game. So that 2 Thursday nights in a row, you still get the full week, and then you get this extra time off to prepare for the shitty Eagles.
Right.
Which we did say in the preseason or schedule release, we had this penciled as the biggest game of the season before the season even started.
Or the Seahawks game?
Yeah,
no, the Eagles game.
Yeah.
But hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's get back to these Seahawks, because
a shitty bird is a shitty bird.
A shitty bird. Look, it's kind of like a video game where you face the first ball.
Arizona. We lost to Arizona, so we're now out.
Mario. When you like fight the first boss, and then it's like the next guy's better. That's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with Seahawks first, which can be vicious birds. I don't think they should be taken lightly, but I'm so confident in. I don't have that same feeling playing teams. I did a couple weeks ago, but now it's completely gone. Like, I feel like whatever it is, and was it Kellen Moore? Was he the one? I don't know. But the confidence that the Cowboys are going to come out there and blow away the teams they should, and I believe that the Seahawks should be a victory. I just don't feel that lacking confidence anymore. So whatever it is, who knows? I really think there's also, like Adam, you kind of said it. There's been, or maybe it was Ant, but there's been a lot of more motion, and maybe that's just helping to see what they're looking for. I don't know if Kellen Moore never did that, but it certainly didn't seem like they're moving as much as they are now on the line. So anyways, going back to the Seahawks here, they are not a team to be taken lightly, and I don't think the Cowboys will.
Well, go ahead, Anth.
No, I was just gonna say they have some decent runners. They have some decent offensive power. It's gonna come down to who has the better quarterback, and our quarterback is substantially better than Geno Smith.
Yep. I think a big thing for us to help win, like currently I am sitting in first place in one of my fantasy football leagues, and I have Charbonnet as one of my backup running backs. And I was considering keeping him on the bench. But if I keep if I keep Sharby on the bench, then I know he's going to put up massive numbers. So I think I should start him to ensure that Charbonnet is not going to do anything in this game.
I like that.
That's my commitment. Hey. I'm willing to lose my first place ranking to ensure that Cowboys victory.
I like it.
Look, you're as long as you get to the playoffs, you make that damn sacrifice. Make that damn sacrifice for the boys.
But in this one league, if you finish first place, you do get a pretty nice bag as well. So I got to kind of consider that. So
what kind of lame league are you playing in where you get a prize for being in first place?
Yeah, stupid.
Come on.
So
lame-os.
We do have some matchups that we want to get to, but one that I just thought of, and perhaps I'm incorrect in this, but do you feel like this might be the best trifecta of wide receivers that we're facing since the beginning of the season?
No.
Eagles. I think Eagles still have the best that we've faced.
Okay.
Trifecta.
Maybe not their third, but you got to think the Eagles have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. Doesn't really matter who you put as their third. They're going to be the best three.
But when we played them, they actually had Julio Jones at the time. So Julio Jones is probably, in my opinion, would be that third kind of trifecta of receivers.
Truth, and I think that's fair. But still, no slouches here. We got DJ Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and then rookie JSN. And let's just fucking pray JSN doesn't have his coming home party here.
Hey man, we watched him score. We watched him score for the Seahawks when we watched it in preseason live. That's we were down there, and I was like, "This guy's going to be really good." And he's you're right. He hasn't had that breakout game. Yep. Let's really hope that it's not against the Cowboys.
I can't see it being against the Cowboys. I think if anything, Sharby's going to be a more of a threat for us than JSN.
Well, you know who JSN's going to be lined up against, right?
Who?
Jordan Lewis.
What I was just going to say. That's what I was just going to say.
Like you're going to have
dehydrated piss yellow Jordan Lewis. I'm talking PFF rankings, okay?
And if you don't know, now you know, because the more dehydrated the color of the pee looks, the crappier the player. Like if you're on go see a doctor level, if you're on Anth fourth day sickness level, you got to go see a doctor, or you got to put the guy on the bench.
Yeah, we're not talking about that fluorescent kind of orange that you get if you're jacking yourself up with multivitamins or anything like that.
No, it's like this.
Yeah, that there. That right there is actually that right there would look like you got multivitamins. You got to add a little bit of a brown tinge to that. That's Jordan Lewis.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jordan Lewis.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now that makes me a little bit nervous. That makes me a little bit more nervous.
But we do have a kind of a quarterback versus quarterback battle here. We got Dak Prescott, who we know we've been following. We've been seeing him just perform night after night. And then he's coming up against Geno Smith, who's had a little bit of a rough go, but taking in his last 2 years, he can still play ball and he's still a threat. What do you guys think between these two quarterbacks? I want to say who's going to have the better game. That seems like too much of an easy question. But
who's going to throw more picks?
Who's going to throw more picks? There we go.
Yeah, and to me, it's just too hard to go against Dak Prescott in any category against Geno Smith. Yeah, Geno Smith had a good season last year. He got the Seahawks back into the postseason. They had a chance to beat San Fran. They were doing really good against them in the first half. Everyone was excited. They signed him for a pretty team-friendly deal. But this is the difference between And this is the showing. This should show Cowboys fans that don't believe in Dak Prescott. It's either you have a guy like Dak Prescott or you have a guy like Geno Smith. This is a better question than the interceptions either. What quarterback would you rather have, Geno Smith or Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott.
Like tenfold.
My boy.
Like tenfold, man. I just can't see Geno Smith beating him in any important category tomorrow. Dak is too much. He's too on fire. The team's feeling good. This isn't the same as the Cardinals loss. The Cardinals loss was still early in the season. The San Fran loss was against a much better team. I think it was Ad that said that this team's locked in. They're locked in and ready to go. Dak Prescott all day.
There's something interesting to be said there because you rewind to that Cardinals loss, and I believe that was the same game where CeeDee Lamb kind of had some negative vibes that he was putting out. It was around that same time. I don't know if
San Fran game was.
Okay, but still, like, that was a little bit of the dark days of the season between that loss and San Fran.
Yep.
But the team has come together. They didn't fall apart. They moved on. They have been winning the games they should win. This is a game that they should win. Prescott has an amazing 1.6% turnover worthy throw rate here on TPF. So he's been really throwing the ball very smartly. And I think it's almost like maybe over 5% or close to 6% big time throw. So he's making the big time throws when he needs to, and he's not putting the ball into a position where it can get picked off or turned over. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing in that aspect. And I just can't see that changing until there's until there's like a blockade in the road that we see in game. Like I said, my confidence is high. I just can't see him losing in any category to Geno except for turnovers.
Yeah, not at AT&T Stadium. There's no way Dak Prescott's gonna let Geno Smith come in and own. Like, look at Anth. He's in his hot air balloon right now, circling AT&T Stadium.
Hey guys.
Yeah, there's no way we're going to come down to having a struggling chance against the Seahawks.
This team's been balling at home.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's been balling at home. That's why it's so important for us to get that second seed. Or obviously first seed would be great, but if the Niners beat, and sorry, I'm getting ahead again, but if the Niners beat the Eagles like we need, they're more than likely locking the first seed. Second seed's just as good. It gives us home field to the NFC Championship game. So we'll take that also.
Yep. Also too as well.
Next matchup here that we have on our docket is Bobby Wagner versus Tony Pollard. Now, Bobby Wagner was someone who we were really hoping the Cowboys would go out and get. Just a quick little detour here. Talking about getting Shaq Leonard. Close enough. Shaq L. So which I think is a really not necessarily comparatively, but equivalent in terms of like making the linebacker position better. But let me get back to the point here. We got Tony Pollard, and let's add Rico to that mix too. Coming up here against Bobby Wagner, who is 13th ranked at linebacker, but I don't think that really expresses his ability to plug holes on the field.
And he's the guy he's the quarterback of that defense, right? He's going to be the one calling the plays out. He's going to be making reads at the line. So yeah, that 13th is more of a team thing, whereas he's still that dude. He's still that guy in his 14th, 13th season, whatever it is. He's a very good player still.
Yeah. And look, there's been some comments on Pollard not necessarily running or maybe producing well, but I don't think it's really fair. I'm just going to look up his stats right now, but I believe he's over a 4.0 on the year.
You can take the kid out of Canada, but you can't take the stats out of the kid. He's in Mexico just cracking those stats.
Yeah, well, look, we've always said that you got to be happy with the running back if he's getting 4+ yards a carry, because you do 3 of those, that's a first down easily. And Tony Pollard is averaging 4.2 yards an average, even in even with him being criticized.
Yep.
But we kind of you kind of got to expect that when you move from a kind of a relief player position or a 1B position in how he was used really in Dallas, with Zeke Elliott, and moving into the first position, it's like, yeah, you're going to be hitting a lot more harder plays when you're in that position, just due to the nature of you being the guy, the go-to guy.
You're the hammer. You're the wear down guy.
Well, I was
Yep.
going to say, like, I don't know. We can't do it for this one, but maybe we look at it. You can see towards the first bit of the season, they were trying to force a lot more, I feel like, with Tony Pollard. And now that Big Mike's kind of opened up some of his offensive play callings, he's kind of really letting that Texas Coast offense.
He's putting that extra patty on.
He's putting that extra patty on that. He's going animal fries with that offense. You're starting to see a lot more quick passes. And the passing game has absolutely skyrocketed in the last few weeks. And we're still seeing Tony Pollard get those numbers, just not getting into the house.
Guys, I'm the only one out of the three of us that didn't have Whataburger, and I'm Big Mike.
I know, that's crazy.
And I'm Big Mike. I've never had Whataburger. I still haven't. I didn't last year either.
That's a big regret from the trip for me not ordering you one. You had that Subway without us, so I thought you were all right with it, and I did not know. I didn't know you wanted that $50 Whataburger. Literally, Alex. I ordered Alex and I 2 hamburgers, and it was $50.
That's crazy.
Oh, which Rich reminds me, I'm just about approved for my loan to pay you back for that. So
I don't want your money.
Your what alone?
I don't want your
loan?
I don't want your.
Yeah, I know,
water
but
loan.
hey, you know what, Aaron? If Cowboys keep rolling, you can eat Whataburger. This is something that you
True.
gotta,
That's true. You're right. Hey man, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, or if they
on
don't,
our live games now 4-1.
4-1.
we're 4-1, baby. Well, we don't count preseason, right?
Well, they
No,
didn't win.
no.
They didn't win that game, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying. We don't count.
So what? Okay, so year one we got. Year one we lost in Vegas, and then the next 4 games that we went to, they've won. It's 4-1.
Hey,
We all
bet
just
on
took a
the
minute
boys.
to just go. Yeah, that's true.
That's true. We're good.
Bet on the Cowboys when the Can boys are in the house. That's what
4-1,
this
baby.
is saying. Okay.
And I'm trying to wrap my head around why we didn't win that first year, and I just can't. Like, what did we do? What did we do wrong? Like,
Started with
what did
14
we do?
penalties.
yeah.
Oh, what did we do? Us 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can't stay in Fort
You know what
Worth.
We stayed in Fort Worth.
Yeah,
we can never stay in Fort
we can't
Worth
stay in
again.
Fort Worth, and we can't stay in a hotel. It has to be an Airbnb.
There it is. We found it.
Yeah.
Okay, we did this
hotels
together.
Hotels are weird because we all end up in the same bed
Yeah.
for some reason. It's just-
But at least
Oops.
Ant doesn't get
Oops.
sick. Ant doesn't get sick when he's sharing beds with us. Oh. Oh.
Next breakdown here, gentlemen, is and I want to adjust it a little bit. The original was CeeDee Lamb versus the secondary, but let's bring in CeeDee Lamb and Cooks versus the secondary. Just
Okay.
kind of like, just so we can talk. But we can definitely hyper focus on CeeDee Lamb. But it looks like from just looking at the PFF lineup chart here that Cooks will be fit. I don't know if they're going to move him around if Witherspoon is a right side or left side only dude. But he's lined up against Cooks. So I don't know if they move him around, but that's the kind of he's the 4th ranked cornerback in the NFL. So he is someone to deal with. And whoever he's on is probably going to have a harder time catching the ball.
He's a bad motherfucker, that guy, man. Witherspoon, he's a beast. He's a guy definitely. If you can shy away from throwing to his side, because he's a playmaker, he can hit. He's not scared of contact. He's a guy that will take someone's head off, but he can also take a ball to the house.
He can jack it up and jack it off.
Rack it up and jack it off.
But when we look at their other cornerbacks, there's Woolen and Adams. They're both they're about above average cornerbacks, and they have to go up against Gallup and Lamb, who's ranked the 4th wide receiver in the NFL right now, a 90.3 rating.
That's a blue. That's a light. That's like a greeny blue right there.
That's right. And Gallup himself is, he's out there. He's having fun. I think he's accepted the role that he has on this offense. He when he's been called at, he's made some good plays for the boys. He's had a game where he I think it was like 3 games ago where he was the kind of main focus on the offense. So we know that you can rely on him when necessary. But Cooks has really come alive, and at least in terms of red zone threat, which is an issue that we had. So love to see that. What do you guys think of Gallup's play? Do you think he's going to have?
Well, before that, because you brought up the red zone, that narrative sure is out the fucking door, isn't it? You haven't heard us having issues scoring since the San Fran game. Like you don't hear about that anymore. That hasn't been a thing talked about. And that's all that was talked about for the first 6 or 7 weeks, which granted made sense.
Yeah.
Hey, just beat a team that has a winning record. Okay.
Yeah. Right. That's the new one. But for Gallup's play, I mean, I don't really like the Thanksgiving Day game. I can't remember him doing too much. He's kind of just shows up I'm still expecting him to have another clutch end zone toe tapping ballerina-esque catch at some point. Cause that's Michael Gallup. That's kind of who he was. He was a very good perimeter wide receiver. And I'm still expecting that to show up. And it's still nice to have that in the back pocket. I'm surprised they haven't tried to give him the ball when they are in the red zone, because he used to be that go-to guy in the red zone.
Yeah.
But he's kind of just fallen away. Like he just doesn't really, you don't really notice him as much as in prior seasons.
It's definitely a situation where we're looking at, obviously it's Lamb as number 1, and then we're going to go close to Cooks. But then I would say Fergie is the number 3, and then you have everybody else. I think we got to stop. I mean, we're seeing it less. It wasn't on the Thanksgiving game, but like trying to force less balls to Tolbert. He hasn't really come up clutch, and he's been targeted a fair amount. I don't know what his overall targets to catching ratio is, but I still would probably go to Gallup over Tolbert. But I'm looking at Cooks, I'm looking at Fergie, and I'm looking at Lamb, and then I would look down to Pollard on the screen like that. Those are the weapons that we want to see Dakota kind of. I think I would even go to Schoonmaker over Tolbert.
Wow,
right now,
easy. Yeah. I don't know about that.
Hey,
I don't know about that. That's getting a little cray.
Just because you gave away that jersey doesn't mean you can't still like Schoonmaker.
I love Schoonmaker.
Well, how about this? Our top 3 receivers, let me just run through this quickly, gents. Lamb, Cooks, Ferguson, in that order. Yards for Lamb, over 1,000, 1,066. Brandon Cooks, 452. Ferguson, 421. Okay.
So they're kind of like 1A, 1B.
1A, 1B, but a good pace.
3 yards. Yeah, and when they're different, they're both getting different types of yards.
2A, 2B.
Ferguson's kind of getting those up the middle tough yards, where Cooks is finally starting to take the top off some people and be that red zone threat, which is kind of weird.
Yep.
Exactly. And with one boom game for each of them, there's potential that with the pace that we're keeping here, with 7 more games left in the season, that they could both potentially eclipse 1,000 yards. That'd be
7
really,
or 6.
really
what are we
cool.
at? We're at 11 right now. 6 games.
Yeah, 6 games. Sorry.
Yeah.
But still, with one big boom game, it could put them into the potential of getting over 1,000 yards, or at least look, if we get to over 800 and what we're like, I will bring up Dalton Schultz stats here, or maybe Adam, if you look at that, his stats from last year.
Schultz's, I have a hard time finding that.
I'll get it.
You get it, but sorry, but
anyway, the last stat here of those guys.
Yeah, go for it.
CeeDee Lamb 6 touchdowns, Cooks 4, and Ferguson 4. So again,
I like that.
Pace those. We're going to get CeeDee potentially 10 to 12 touchdowns. Cooks, 8 to 10, and same with Ferguson, 8 to 10. So it really all depends on those boom games.
So Schultz last year, guys, 57 receptions, 577 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Okay.
I mean, Fergie's already there.
He's pretty much there with 6 games to go. He already has 4. And what did he have? 480 yards. So he needs 100 yards and a
420,
touchdown.
420.
How many?
Okay, so
how
he needs
many,
150 yards and a touchdown in 6 games
how many
to match
atten-
Dalton Schultz.
How many targets and catches, Anth? Did
I don't know.
Schulte have?
I don't know.
Okay.
I got that. Hey,
Oh,
hey,
do you?
Adam,
Okay.
I got that.
Tell me.
58 targets to 40 receptions.
Okay. And then what is Fergie at right now?
No, that's what Ferguson has.
Oh,
I was thinking, I was like, how the fuck did you get Schultz's so fast? Yeah,
I thought you were.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
All
is
I-
what I was thinking.
all I
was
was
like, man,
gonna say-
AJ's over there in Mexico just slanging that out, but
Here,
but you
can
didn't.
find
he's
it.
slanging and banging it. But all I was going to say, Dak last year versus this year is he's not using that tight end as a crutch. And that's where we're starting to see a little bit more weapons in the receiving core, and that could kind of go down to Kellen Moore's offensive play calling versus Mike McCarthy's, where maybe Dak was struggling a little bit with some of Kellen Moore's play calls, so he just dishes it down to the tight end as that safety net.
So here it is, Adam. 89 targets for 57 receptions.
Wow, that's dog shit.
But I would agree. Like
Volleyball style.
It seems like it seems like there's more opportunity, and it makes damn well good sense with the wide receiver upgrades, and also considering Gallup was coming back from that ACL, so he was like 50% of what he is this year, and he was slotted in as our number 2 right last year. So like there was a lot of like utilizing of Schultz, and to see that Dak is still producing those same numbers for Fergie, but also distributing the ball around to his top 2 wide receivers, I think that's a really good sign. Like it looks like Ferguson's going to outpace what Dalton Schultz did. We're not skipping a beat without him.
Granted, Schultz did miss a few games last year. He wasn't healthy the whole year, so those numbers we'd have to get a true look at what he did. You'd have to go. If he played 12 games, you'd then have to compare Ferguson's 12 games type thing.
I'd mute you if you're in studio right now.
But whatever. He's healthy. Ferguson's healthy. He should blow out what Dalton Schultz did last year. And that's big. That's good. They made the right decision by not re-signing Schultz and going to a cheaper option and a guy that's becoming a fun dude to watch on the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What else do we got there, AJ? AJ?
Well, we can look at the injury report. I don't think there's anything big.
Trayvon Diggs is out still. Is Diggs low key?
Anything in chat there?
No, I was gonna say is Diggs pulling an Aaron Rodgers, and is he just now gotten released from his? They've activated the 21-day release injury schedule or whatever, but he hasn't been announcing it.
Don't tease. You cock teased
or overshown.
You did it.
Something like that. But
hey, get to chat, Ad. What's chat happen?
We got chat. So JC Cowboys Network says, "What's up, fellas?"
What
Kilo
up?
C earlier on was saying that's called prison talk. Chat. Dallas Cowboys Chris, I don't know if he's still in the chat right now, but he goes, "Can fan, what's up, brothers?"
Cowboy Chris in the his a.
Yeah, I've been hitting chat the whole time.
Cowboys
It's hard to sometimes interject chat comments because you guys are when we're doing out of studio, there's a little bit of delay. So I've been popping them up on the screen. No questions at the moment. Some score predictions earlier on.
Everyone's just vibing.
Everyone's vibing and live. Should we hit some bold predictions? Or you got that injury report, AJ?
Yeah, you know what? Like I'm just looking at injury report. There's just a bunch of questionables. Nothing new for any team. So
let's hit that score in boldies.
Let's hit score in boldies.
And then we should make. I don't have any, and I don't have anything.
You know what? Adam,
that was the sound for you.
I sent a image in the chat. I don't know if you can use it, but just for our reference. But I think what helps to make these score predictions might be to just read off the over, under, and spread, just to get an idea here.
I don't want an idea. I don't want to know what the casinos are doing.
Okay.
I want to lead out. I want to be fresh because I like when we go with our own. And one of the funniest things for me to watch with you guys is when you go for your own score prediction and then you bet something completely different. That's what I think's funny because you have a thought of a score in your head and then you bet against what your initial thought is, and you guys usually win your bets. So
That's
Don't
true.
go with
Hey,
your don't go with your first instincts. But man, so we've been putting hurting on people at home. The Seahawks are going to come up charged. They got their asses kicked to Seattle or from San Fran last week. Do they let their team slide again and get spanked? No, I think they're going to come and play a lot better defense, a lot better offense, a lot better special teams. It's going to be a tighter game than I want to see. I'm going with 31 for the Cowboys and 21 for the Seahawks.
ooh, okay.
Here, let me write this.
31.
Are you writing that down,
21.
AJ?
I'm writing it down here.
Okay,
also.
good.
And it's going to be like a close game. Like it's going to be a 1-score game till the Cowboys, or it's going to be like we're going to be up a field goal till the last quarter, and then Dak's going to drive down the field and get a touchdown. We'll be up by 2 scores. Then Deron Bland's going to pick it off to seal the game. Something like that.
Okay.
I like that. That's picturesque.
And Gus says you guys are cooking, so I can't interrupt the chefs. That's why chat's been a little quiet.
Salt Bay?
Yeah, salting it up. AJ, you got a score there?
I like Ant's score prediction, but I just to give a little variance. Like for the Cowboys, I like your score. I'm gonna go 34. Just tack on an additional Aubrey.
Another Obby?
Another Obby. But I'm gonna drop Seahawks down to 17. I just think the boys front four are going to be too much to handle. They're going to be pressuring. I think we see that Deron Bland pick earlier in the game, shift momentum, and that's going to force the Seahawks to have to start throwing the ball a little bit more wildly or trying to move the ball a little bit more aggressively, and it's going to cause more 3-and-outs in the second half. Now, also just want to throw in there, I don't think the boys go 3-and-out. I think they actually get a first down on their first drive. So
That's wild.
That's your bold prediction.
You shut your mouth.
that's too bold. That is too bold.
Is that your bold prediction?
No. Okay, Ad, sorry, yours?
No. So I'm gonna go 36 to 20 for the Cowboys.
Weird score.
It's a very weird score.
Very weird score.
There's going to be a 2-point conversion or a missed field goal, or sorry, missed point after somewhere for that. Because 20's not too weird. 20 is two touchdowns, 2 field goals. So that's not too weird. 36 is a little strange, but I like it. We should get 2-point conversion somewhere.
And then do I give my bold? My bold prediction is Deron Bland pick 6.
Is that even bold anymore?
I mean, hey.
Well,
hey.
you bold predicted a guy who just broke the NFL record for interception touchdowns to get an interception touchdown.
To do another one and to even like cement that record. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking with you. That is bold because that'd be his 3rd game in a row with a pick 6. That's probably a record in itself too.
Let me hit some chat scores here. So Dallas Cowboy Chris says 43-20 is his score prediction for the Cowboys. Alex 559, 35-14 Cowboys. Gus is saying 29-16 Cowboys. And then we had some earlier ones on that. Okay,
well, while you're looking, AJ, get your boldy going.
Denny Watson, 34-17. Oh, I thought you. Sorry, AJ.
I wanted to go back to Ad's bold prediction because I think you gotta tag on something extra. Give me a yards. Give me something extra because I know it is bold.
Okay.
But it's happened 2 games in a row, and so just throwing that to the board here.
Okay.
Throwing that to chat. Do you feel it's bold enough just to call that?
It's going to be in the first quarter. Can I say that? It'll happen in the first quarter.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of it have come in the later stages of the game. I like that. Pick the quarter. I would have even if you said first half, I would have thought that was good. But I like that you went with the quarter. It's almost you should throw $50 down on that.
Y'all motherfuckers are sweating me right now. Y'all motherfuckers are sweating me. I gotta hit it like that.
Hey, look, had he not just done back to back, I mean, I would throw it out there. If I was wrong, I was wrong. I'd eat my. Settle.
I do like that. A player getting a pick 6 isn't bold enough now, though. That's a good thing for us. That's a good thing for this team because that's usually like pick 6. They're hard to come by. So I like that we're so used to it. I just hope he keeps doing it.
Another bold prediction. Another bold prediction is that this will be the 8th time the Cowboys pull their starters.
Could be.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if that's bold enough.
Yeah, we've seen it in more than half the games. We've seen it. We've almost seen it in every more than every second game. We've seen the starters get pulled.
Yep.
And look, exactly. Any other fucking in a vacuum, both those predictions themselves are just bold enough. But look, we're dealing with Jerry Jones's reality here. I'm gonna go with a grand slam. But
we're playing football. So someone hitting a grand slam, that is super bold because it's not even the right sport.
That's right. I think Micah Parsons is going to put on a helmet, bring out a baseball bat and smash the fucking. No, we know. For anyone who's out there and is like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? A grand slam is Micah Parsons getting a sack and then any three other players on the Cowboys basically getting a sack. So 4 sacks total. But Micah Parsons has to get 1, and the other 4 sacks, it has to be 3 other players, or the other sacks have to be 3 other.
How long have we been rolling for?
1 hour and 13 minutes.
Hour and 13 minutes. So about an hour and 12 minutes. That's how long it took for any of us to say Micah Parsons' name. He had not been brought up a single time prior to that. How fucking wild is that?
That is wild.
That shows how good this team is.
Yeah.
That we didn't even bring up Micah, and he's so good that we haven't even talked about him. He's just so consistently good that we haven't even brought up Micah Parsons' name for an hour and 12 minutes. And I was going to wait. I was going to say it. I was going to bring up his name the next time I went, but AJ beat me to it at an hour and 12, baby.
Well, at an hour and 14 minutes, we have Gus with the super chat of $4.99 saying Philly still sucks.
Yes, sir.
That shirt's coming soon.
Appreciate it, GR7.
Gus's bold predictions also Cowboys defense get a safety, so that'll help align with my score.
That would help your score for sure. Okay, so you went, Adam. Did you guys both went defense? So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick on the defensive side of the ball. And I know I said my bold prediction, my score prediction. I'm going past that. We're shutting this team out. We're shutting out the Seahawks. They're not even going to put a single point up on the board. 0 points. Big fat Seahawk egg is what they're getting tomorrow. That's my boldy.
Not even a goose egg.
So that goes that goes against your score prediction.
Way against it, but I don't do the betting, right? It's when you pick your score prediction versus a bet. I'm okay if I get my bold prediction. I'm okay with getting my bold prediction over a score prediction.
Can I do a fun one just for all of us if you guys agree?
Sure.
A touchdown from CeeDee Lamb, Cooks, and Ferguson.
Is that bold? Yep. Is that bold enough anymore? How many games have they hit? How many games have they hit that? The 3 of them hit that one?
No, that's what I'm saying. Well, I don't know all 3 of them have got a touchdown in one game.
I feel like there has been Cooks. There's been Cooks, Fergie, Lamb, TP20, and Dowdle.
2 of them have. I don't know that all 3 of them have.
I think
I'd have to go back and look. That'll have to be a deep dive after the episode. We'll have to deep dive that.
We'll deep dive. I got those there. Okay, so just to reiterate, Ant's got 31-41 Cowboys victory with the Seahawks goose egg as his boldy. You know what? You're just fucking covering. You're just covering, you know?
Yep.
If it happens, it happens.
If it happens, it happens.
BW1, aka Ad Best over there, 36-20 with the odd score, but let's see it happen. Deron Bland pick 6 in the first quarter. Extremely bold, very nice. And BW2, aka WayJ over here, 34-17 Cowboys, and I'm going with that grand slam, which, arguably may not be bold enough, but
it's kind of like a Moons over Miami IHOP or Denny's meal. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Hey, Ad, I put in the chat.
I tried. Well,
it up. And if you can't, that's fine. But I put in the chat our.
I tried to. It wasn't working. It didn't work.
This is what we'll do. Our bets. I think just for bets and our fantasy fan fantasy, we just do a bye week on that stuff for this week. Just with all 3 of us out, I think it unless Ad can get it going within the next minute or 2. My laptop's dying.
Okay.
A little behind baseball.
All right, well, fuck it, let's go. But I just saying, we did win our Panthers bet. Okay. So both me and Adam both won our bets for Panthers. We didn't do one.
We didn't do one for Washington.
We were
Yeah.
in-house. So Adam has revitalized himself. He's up to 2,025 CanFan bucks.
Ooh,
But he's behind.
that's a CanFan buckaroo.
Yeah, he's not so far behind now. He's got room to fucking make his aggressive bets. I am at 2,665. And you know what? Yeah, we'll skip this week, but anyway, that's where we are. And
I mean, you guys could still do your bets in the group chat. How about you guys can still get your group chat so you guys don't feel like you missed out on an opportunity.
That's right. Sounds good.
And chat wants to know, yes, live stream for the game tomorrow. Abso-fucking-lutely. We're live.
We're gonna be going live. It's not because it's a Thursday. It's a little bit different to our schedules. We're only going to be going live 15 minutes before a game, which is 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and 7 p.m. Central.
Oh
is that what it is? Central? Is that what it is in Texas?
Who the fuck knows?
Deep down in Texas.
Yeah, deep down in Texas.
I'm either going to be going live from the local Mexican Hooters here, or hopefully from a location where there are some Seahawks fans who I might be able to.
Is it easy to find the game on there?
Oh yeah. There's places all over.
Like there'll be places.
There are places, but it's hit or miss. But like Hooters, Chili's, just say the same places that you would watch games in fucking
Canada,
BC, or anywhere.
Are we just going to have you there?
Yeah.
Are we just going to have you in there but muted?
Yeah. Well,
Like
that's probably what I'll end up doing. We'll see.
What I was thinking of doing was bringing my phone, my headphones here, and just fucking setting up my phone and
You'll have
We'll
to
see if it works. I think there'll be background noise, but we'll give it a go.
No, but if he mutes his mic on his side and then when he wants to say something, he unmutes and says something. So we'll see how it is.
Yeah. Okay.
But
we'll be live streaming tomorrow. Another back-to-back Thursday game. We got the Seahawks coming in. And we got to lead out with this, guys. If you know someone who's not a Cowboys fan, how about you go ahead and tell them to go fuck themselves, son.
baby.
go fuck yourself.